Dentistry in General Radio Network presents The Bald Truth, the Dental Politics Podcast with Dr. Bob D. and Dr. Spencer Bloom. Dr. Scott Sutter, an officer of the Nevada Dental Association, posted a video that made false and defamatory statements about me and members of our coalition. I'm sharing this video and my commentary to set the record straight and respond with facts, professionalism, and transparency.
Facebook group Dentistry in General, or DIG, and he has been super mad about the ADA for a while now.
Hi everyone, I'm here to talk about a video that was released about me and our coalition. And before we start, I want to say that this video includes clips from a post that was made about me and later made privatized on YouTube. I'm showing parts of it here to respond and clarify the facts. What you'll see here is being used under the fair use for commentary, education, and discussion. Then create the original video, and I'm not claiming ownership of it. My purpose is to respond to what was said about me and my coalition and set the record straight for everyone watching. I'll be pausing along the way to comment a few points that deserve real explanation. Okay, so let's start by playing this from the beginning. This is Dr. Sutter. I believe Dr. Sutter is the secretary of the Nevada Dental Association. And if you're familiar with organized dentistry, there's a ladder system. You get in at the bottom of the ladder, you run for election, and after you win your first election, there's no more elections. You basically move up the positions until you become president. I believe Dr. Sutter is scheduled to be president of the Nevada Dental Association in 2 years. I believe Dr. Sutter is an endodontist in northern Nevada. And for those who are familiar with politics of dentistry, it almost seems like there are two regions in every state. And in Nevada, it seems to be there are two different politics in the southern and northern Nevada. Having said all of that, let's see what this video is about. This video was sent to me by someone who recorded it before it disappeared.
Meet Bob D. He is the founder and moderator of the Facebook group Dentistry in General, or DIG, and he has been super mad about the ADA for a while now, mostly because of this guy, Ray Colmia, the previous executive director of the ADA.
So I need to respond here first, is that I'm not super mad. I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated at the many problems we have in our profession. And it appears that our only association is focused on things that are not very important. But I'm just frustrated. Mad is a word I wouldn't use. I feel like I'm pretty balanced at the moment, but I'm not mad. The picture on the screen was Dr. Ray Colmia, the past executive director of the American Dental Association, that was made to resign or fired or voluntarily resign earlier in 2025 due to discovery of a large amount of our reserves being spent on software implementation. I am not one of those who blames Dr. Colmia alone for this problem. I feel like everyone is involved has to take some responsibility. Those who sit in a boardroom and hire an executive director are also responsible for the behavior of their only employee. So just wanted to set that straight. Let's listen a little bit more.
Who's actually friends with this guy, who was last seen fighting Superman using kryptonite. Oh wait, that's Jeff Bezos. Anyway, Bob.
I did not understand that part. I don't know why Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, was in this video, but I feel like The old guys like me need to be reminded. That may have been the TikTok style humor that was inserted here.
Bob has this problem of wanting to change things, which is great, but he needs a way in. Enter 2 willing delegates and a fun little loophole just waiting to be exploited.
There's a big fundamental problem with that statement. Entering 2 delegates is a misrepresentation of Dr. Spencer Bloom and Dr. Stephen Sachs. Those who know those 2 know that they've been doing this a lot longer than I have. They have been free thinkers in organized dentistry a lot longer than I have been. So to discount them that way, I feel like it's disrespectful. And also calling a privilege to submit resolutions to the House of Delegates by individual delegates a loophole. It is disrespectful to our organization. And this is not a loophole. Many have done this before us. And we chose to go this way because many resolutions submitted to caucuses to be submitted to the HOD, they either get refused or altered in a way that are not recognizable. Okay, let's listen a little bit more.
It turns out, any delegate can directly submit a resolution to the House of Delegates. So they submit 30. 10 from the great state of Illinois by Spencer Bloom, and 20 from my home state of Nevada by Steve Sachs. Both are beloved members of our respective.
This is quite disrespectful. First of all, we wrote 32 resolutions. Let me explain how the process worked. All the resolutions were the ideas of all 3 of us, plus many other organized dentistry people, including past presidents, current Board of Trustee members. Yes, current Board of Trustee members have given us ideas. Also, council members, other leaders. These ideas were brought to us. The 3 of us talked about it. And then I start reading about past resolutions and trying to learn how to write these. Yes, we do have an AI model specialized in governance, ethics, bylaws, and the rules of the nation, such as FTC, regarding the American Dental Association. This AI model does not come up with resolutions. It's a model to check for citations, for mistakes, to make sure we are doing what we're supposed to. As I said, we have had many advising us and guiding us. Parliamentarians, past speakers of the House have helped us. Budgetary people have helped us that have sat in that boardroom and advised many presidents. But for you to put rolling eyes when you say respected members of the constituencies, to me, yeah, it's upsetting. It's upsetting to see someone, a professional, discount colleagues like this. I am very disappointed in you and those who influenced you to make this video. I am a strong believer that you have a long career in front of you, and I hope you wake up one day and realize that this video damaged not just your career, damaged the American Dental Association. For you to disrespect Dr. Bloom and Dr. Sachs this way is not justified, and it's just beyond belief. Anyways, let's listen a little bit more. I'm going to rewind a little bit to listen to this part once again.
They submit 30. 10 from the great state of Illinois by Spencer Bloom, and 20 from my home state of Nevada by Steve Sachs. Both are beloved members of our respective delegations, and we love being associated with this. Anyway, here's the problem. To say this year has been a rough one for the ADA is an understatement, and there are some incredibly important things to address in a very short amount of time.
Okay, I'm going to address this once again. For you to be associated with Dr. Bloom and Dr. Sachs is an honor. These are people who've been doing this for a long time, and you should see the wordsmithing that Dr. Bloom does to resolutions, and you should see the walking encyclopedia Dr. Sachs is regarding policy, resolutions, and all in all, dentistry in general, pun intended. Let's listen a little bit more.
With this. Anyway, here's the problem. To say this year has been a rough one for the ADA is an understatement, and there are some incredibly important things to address in a very short amount of time. I really want to give all the credit in the world to the Speaker of the House, Mark Donald, and the ADA's legal team because they have spent months and so much time and money making sure these resolutions are valid.
Okay, I need to address this. The Speaker of the House has worked very hard. The Speaker of the House and the staff have helped us tremendously. Our resolutions were not perfect. We had some dead links because the citation source we used, which was the AI, was making mistakes early on. We corrected it. Okay. The narrative that our resolutions took a long time to do is not accurate. Resolutions are complicated. They have multiple resolving clauses that are very important. As a matter of fact, we were asked to separate some of these resolutions into separate resolutions. That's why it grew to be 32. We followed every direction the speaker had given us. We went back and forth on multiple resolutions. But for you to say that they wasted their time on our resolutions and they wasted money, I want to bring to your attention that $142 million of our reserves were spent with no regard to checks and balances. I don't think you have read any of the resolutions. I don't think you know any of our resolutions because I want you to read them because I truly believe you care. And if you read them, I feel that you will agree with us that our resolutions are very important to the future of organized dentistry and to the future of dentistry. Let's listen a little bit more.
I really want to give all the credit in the world to the Speaker of the House, Mark Donald, and the ADA's legal team because they have spent months and so much time and money making sure these resolutions are valid.
By the way, that's their job. Dr. Mark Donald had run for this position. He's very good at it. I have sent him multiple thank you notes, although he's never answered me back, maybe in person. But that's their job. Just like your job is to do root canals properly, and for me to do interviews properly these days, that's their job. So please do not bring in this idea that we gave them extra jobs.
And reference actual existing policy and laws because there allegedly may have been some who spent so much time and money making sure these resolutions are valid and reference actual existing policy and laws because there allegedly may have been some hallucinations if AI was allegedly used to write some of these allegedly. Don't come after me, I'm just the messenger, but these 30.
Nobody's coming after you, by the way. What you're saying is your opinion, and no, I don't respect your opinion. However, I want you to read the resolutions. I have tracking of all the resolutions. I want you to see how we were treated in some of these resolutions. There are those who no longer are with the ADA, and they forgot to turn off their anonymity feature. So I can see who is writing these comments. The rude comments and unprofessional comments by some people that used to work for the ADA were appalling. But guess what? We listened and we did what they wanted us to do. They were asking certain things that were not procedurally correct. And those were confirmed by past speakers of the House and by other parliamentarians. These resolutions were not written by AI. AI cannot write resolutions. Please try some. Go to ChatGPT, open it up, and tell it to write you a resolution about how to place brackets on teeth, for example, or anything else you may want it to do. It's not possible. It comes out as gibberish. The AI model we've written and used is specifically designed to check for redundancies of policy, check for FTC laws, ethics, and check all of our policies to make sure we were doing it correctly. And I have to tell you, other than those dead links, I don't think there was anything wrong. Sure, some were deemed out of order. We disagreed, and then we came to a compromise. I just don't know the whole process, and I'm not sure if you've ever written a resolution to be speaking this way, but I'd be willing to talk to you on the phone if you'd like me to explain.
Resolutions have taken up so much of the speaker's time that we just received the batch of resolutions from all the states and delegates who went through the proper channels and took the time to have their states and districts work through the language to ensure it was polished.
This is very important. Everyone listening to this interview should understand what he is saying. Proper channels in organized dentistry terms has meant for years that what goes through the caucuses is what everybody else agrees to. So if you have an idea and the good old boys network does not agree with it, it doesn't go through. It's happening in every state, including your own, Dr. Sutter. I have seen resolutions submitted by Dr. Sachs to the caucus, and then the resolution coming to the floor of the House, and they're not even close. You can't recognize them. So when you say proper channels and polished, to me, those are very interesting words. Yes, just polishing occlusion off of a tooth of a gold crown. Yes, they get polished. They get polished to the point that we can't recognize them. This is the reason we submitted these with individual delegates rather than going through caucuses. And guess what? Many caucuses actually agreed with a lot of our resolutions and they like them. It seems like you don't like them, but I'm not even sure if you read them. So I invite you to read them. Dentistryingeneral.com has a tab called Dig AC, Dentistry in General Advocacy Coalition. They're all there with our analysis, all of the board comments, and even videos. If you don't want to read them, since you like videos, I've made videos for you to see how they are related to our profession.
Rather than send in a massive dump of work for someone else to fix. Said another way, the class clowns were disruptive, took up the teacher's time, and we all suffered for it.
I don't know. I don't know how to respond. Calling your colleagues clowns are not just disrespectful to me and to my colleagues, it's disrespectful to my whole community, a community I've built for 5 years. And it saddens me. It doesn't make me mad. It saddens me that you can't recognize that. It is beyond belief that you feel as an official of the Nevada Dental Association, you can call your colleagues clowns and get credit. I get it. It's social media. I've done certain things that has raised eyebrows, but I have never been disrespectful to individuals. I don't name and shame, but it seems like you like to put people's pictures up and criticize them. Maybe in your next video, you can criticize my hair and how I don't have any. Maybe you would like to criticize the way I talk since, English is my second language. But I advise you to look back at this video and seek help. This is an angry video that you've put out. I don't know why. I don't know what prompted this. This is not a stepping stool to go higher. This is a stepping stool to get to places that you don't want to be. It is not a nice place. I'm very sorry that you use that analogy of clowns because I spent a year of my life doing this. Sleepless nights, 3 o'clock in the mornings, talking to Spence and Steve regarding these resolutions, going back and correcting whatever the speaker wanted us to correct, 20-hour days for a whole year. My family think I'm crazy, and I pay for everything out of my own pocket. I'm not an official of the ADA or serve any of the constituencies on an official manner to get paid. I pay for my own way on plane tickets, and everything comes out of my pocket. For you to call me a clown is beyond belief. And I hope you get the help you need, because this is not the way the new generation is going to join the ADA. This is what's going to turn people off. And I'm here to tell them that this is not typical. There are a lot of good people in organized dentistry. And I believe you're a good person too. I just feel like you've been influenced by the wrong people. But this is not good. This part of the video was shown to many people. There are delegates that are seeing this. You are calling our efforts for 12 months clownish. Past presidents have called me and have actually been shocked by your comments. And the internet is forever, right? This is not something that you can escape from. You are calling your colleagues clowns. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Let's listen more.
The best and or saddest part, most of these resolutions address things that were already happening, making this an even bigger waste of time.
I'd like you to come up with some specifics, please, because the resolutions we've written, if they have been working on, they've been working on them for many years. And we can talk about that on the floor of the reference committee and the House of Delegates. Actually, after our resolutions came out, which many of them came out on the first deadline, April 4th, 3 or 4 months later, policies were put in place because of our resolutions. News releases were sent out because of our resolutions. I get it. There are a lot of these resolutions that comment, oh, this council is working on it, or we have a governance plan in place. They wanted to change things in 2027. They've been working on it for a couple of years. I'm not sure if everybody in organized dentistry understands numbers. We're hovering around 50% membership. We have about $55 million of the 200 and whatever, 20 million reserves left. We run something around 20 to $30 million of deficit every year. So let's do the math. In 2 to 3 years, we will run through the rest of the reserves, and we have to dip in to our building money, which is about the sale of the building in Chicago, for those who don't know, is about $110 million. What do you think is going to happen then? In 2017, many baby boomers, by the way, I'm not a baby boomer, Generation X. I used to have hair like you back in the 80s. But many of the baby boomers are retiring by 2027 and will not be paying dues anymore. So we're in big trouble. Once we dip below 30% membership, it's over. I want everybody to listen to this. It's over. We have to do something for the new generation to join. Do you know why they're not joining? If you give them free membership, they will not join. They keep wanting to give them discounts here and create Michigan and Connecticut pilots, the same pilot they took away from Nevada. I know all the policies. I know everything that's happening. But Michigan and Connecticut are doing pilots for DSOs trying to gain members, and it failed miserably. They're not going to join because of these things. They want meaningful things to be done for them. Look at some of our resolutions. Dental school rankings to keep dental schools accountable. You think AI would come up with that idea? That was Dr. Sachs many years ago. You know what happened? It failed. We're bringing it back. You know, the union for employed dentists. Sure, dentists get triggered by that word union. I actually insisted on that word because I want people to know we need representation. There are many of these resolutions trying to help bring membership, transparency. People don't feel like they know what the ADA does. I keep telling them they do a lot of good. Okay, bring it out. The communication resolution, trying to give power to dentists making decision on dentist-facing material that is out there. So for you to say that a lot of these things have been happening, if they've been happening, why are we at 50%? Where are they? What happened to them? I need details on that part, please.
But it's okay. It's not like we have a dental insurance company owning practices in Wisconsin, a blatant antitrust violation, alleged.
Okay, you keep saying allegedly, but if you incorrectly speak, I have to correct you. Okay? The state of Wisconsin, the people who live in Wisconsin have voted. Okay? They have voted for non-dentists to be able to own dental offices. Okay? This is not something new that an insurance company also owns places of that provides healthcare. Kaiser in California is the largest one. So for you to come here, discount our work by inaccurate statements about what Delta is doing in Wisconsin, which I disagree with. I don't like to see that. However, they're not doing it illegally. Antitrust laws are illegal acts. So I would be very careful saying that because it is not illegal for them to do that. I don't like it. I feel like we are being pushed in a corner, but this should have been done by the ADA when the vote took place a few years ago, not when it's all undone. Where was the ADA? Where was the Wisconsin Dental Association? You know what I've heard? They were no match for the lobby there. So I'm trying to bring people back. I don't know what you're trying to do with these videos, but I'm trying to bring people back so we can have real advocacy. Have you seen our advocacy resolutions that we talk about real money, how much we should be spending on advocacy? Has anyone ever thought about that? The advocacy that we're recommending is within 5 years, we will spend about $25 million a year. The AMA spends about $35 million. And guess what? The Board of Trustees recommended for the House to vote no on it. Where are we spending the money on? We didn't say $25 million now. We said, let's grow to 25 million within 5 years. And if it's difficult at the time, the House can decide to extend that 5 years. Again, I don't think you've read our resolutions.
Or massive private equity-backed organizations trying to open dental schools, creating modern-day indentured servitude. But yeah, let's waste everyone's time with this stuff instead because one angry guy on Facebook found a loophole.
Again, I want to refer to our resolutions. Take a look at our resolutions. Every resolution is there to prevent private equity intrusion into dentistry. I agree with you. There are dental schools opening with no clinics. I've talked about it for months. There are more opening up in Ohio. The state of Nevada, I think, is the worst when it comes to the number of DSOs in the country. You have the highest, I think it's either Nevada or Florida, have the highest percentage of DSO offices. What have you guys done there? I think everybody's busy pushing Steve back, to be honest with you. That's my opinion. But we need to be working together regarding these serious issues. You once again bring out the loophole word. That is disrespectful to our Constitution and our bylaws. This is not a loophole. This is in there. This has been there for many years. Many people have submitted resolution this way. I didn't find a loophole. This is part of the procedure. And you keep bringing it out, it just makes you look like you don't know what you're talking about. So please study our bylaws before you come and attack us.
Please, if you are a dentist of the age that you are on TikTok and not Facebook, get involved with the ADA. We need younger voices to speak up, as this is our future that's being messed with by a bunch of older docs who have no idea what it's like out here.
I agree with the first part. We need to get the young people in. By the way, we're on TikTok as well, and Instagram, and YouTube Shorts, and YouTube and Facebook. We cover all of the platforms. I'm also on LinkedIn, and many organizations have asked me to write for them. And you may want to read our magazine coming out next year. It's called Digest. Get it? DIGest. A bunch of old guys not knowing what's like out there. I've been a dentist of 33 years. I'm recording this after working 8 hours right next to, literally next to, the biggest DSO in the world. And I have spoken and written anti-private equity into dentistry articles and videos and interviews for years. So I know what I'm talking about. I would invite you to a debate even. But I don't know if we even disagree on certain things. We only disagree on disrespect. I speak about bad things that organized dentistry does. I don't speak about people. It's about policy, not personalities. I have never named someone and then attacked them. However, you are making it personal, and this is not good for our profession. It's not a good look.
Also, there is something really cathartic about seeing your dental school faculty behave like cast members on The Real Housewives of New Jersey, but also realizing you now have the same voice that they do, and you can make a difference. Also, Florida is trying to kill the SFC. There will be 4 candidates running from the floor, and my good friend Tina wants the ADA to stand up for the worm controlling RK's brain like our physician colleagues have the courage to do.
Let me address that. Dr. Stephen Sachs is on a faculty of a dental school, works very hard in his own office, does all kinds of policy work and legislative work in Nevada and for the ADA and for AMIS. He's an oral surgeon. And you are likening him to the Housewives of New Jersey television show? I don't know. I really don't know how to respond to this. Many people, including the current president, have known Steve for years. Please, this is not going well. This is a blatant disrespect of people who are working for you, the young generation. And the younger generation, his kids are dentists that are probably your age. And you are calling him Housewives of New Jersey? I don't know. Yeah. I don't have an answer for that. I can't really say anything.
It is going to be a really fun time in DC, so subscribe whatever if you want to follow along. I'm out. Meet Bob D. He is
I want to tell everyone that I recorded this video. I'm not even sure if I'm going to play this. However, I am quite taken by the actions of Dr. Sutter in the past 48 hours. I'll get over it. I'm a social media person myself. I know sometimes we do things to get attention, but I get attention because there are important topics. I don't want to get attention to attack someone. But I hope anybody who listened to this will look at the resolutions and not just what the leaders are pushing out there. Thank you very much.
This has been a production of Dentistry in General Radio Network. Visit our website, dentistryingeneral.com, to join engaging clinical and business conversations, explore our dental podcasts, and stay updated on our upcoming live events.